today's live stream. I hope you guys have had an awesome week so far. Happy Tuesday. And today we're going to be talking about what essential oils are good for emotional health. But before I get into that, I believe it's live everywhere. So before I get into that, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe and hit the bell. And if you're not watching on YouTube, then after this stream is finished, you can always just head on over there and subscribe and hit the bell. Why would you do that? Because I am here to show up every week, every Tuesday, every Thursday, to help you with your emotions and your mental health and with those sorts of things that you might be struggling with. My heart is for Christian women to help them, particularly those who are struggling with, say, depression or anxiety or maybe undiagnosed, but you know something's not quite right. And you just feel bound by this, and you feel you can't live out the life that God has called you to because you just are so bogged down by this. So that is my heart. That is who I'm speaking to. If that resonates with you, then definitely jump over to YouTube and subscribe and hit the bell over there just so you're notified every time I go live. And the reason why I'm so passionate about it is because that's exactly where I was. That's exactly what I experienced a couple of years ago. I don't recognize myself 5 years ago. I'm just a totally different person. God has taken me through such an incredible transformation. I remember I was struggling to even get out of bed some mornings. I was just so, I just felt like I was walking around in a fog, and just making it through the day at work without having a panic attack or without having an anxiety attack was really, really difficult. And it's debilitating. It really is. And I really believe that the enemy is using this to attack Christians, particularly Christians in Australia and in America and just in the Western church, who we do have lots of resources, and we're well off compared to some other places in the world. We don't have usual, like, the worries that other people might, where, you know, of their own safety. And I mean, we do, but not to that extent, you know, where we should be, we should have nothing that holds us back from spreading the gospel and from building the kingdom and from serving in our churches and reaching the lost people of the world. But we don't see that in the church these days, where I am anyway, and I see that sort of across the Western church. We don't see that, and I believe one of the reasons why is because the enemy is really attacking our minds. And so if we can, through prayer and through getting back to the scriptures and through prioritizing not just prioritizing our relationship with God, but making God the center of our worlds and having him be the reason that we breathe and the reason that we do everything, having him at the center, and then utilizing some other tools and tips and techniques that he's provided in his world, as well as spiritual healing and things, all these sorts of things, utilizing all these things so that we can be freed up from our mental issues so that we can actually do the Lord's work. So that is my heart. That is what I'm here to share. Because God's done it in me, so I believe he can do it in you too. So if that sounds good to you, you can either jump over to YouTube or just watch on Facebook as well. This video gets streamed multiple places. So you can do that, as well as jump into the free online community that is only a couple weeks old, but it's going strong. I think we're over 20 members now, which is so fun. People from random corners of my life, as well as strangers, are in there, and it's just so fun seeing how God's spreading the word about that community, and getting people in there who need to be in there. So if that's you, if you're struggling in this way, and if you want a transformation in this part of your life, then definitely jump over there, because God's put some really cool things on my heart to share. Anyway, so today we're doing something really practical. We're going to be talking about essential oils for emotional well-being. So this is one of the tools in my emotional well-being toolkit that I carry around with me, metaphorically, that God led me to. That, like, sure, it's not going to cure anything. Like, essential oils don't cure things. Like, yeah, don't get it twisted. Don't think that I'm saying something that I'm not. But they're just a tool to use when your emotions are out of whack, when you feel like you need to kind of pull yourself in emotionally. They have blown my mind. Hang on, I haven't even looked at my notes. Yeah, I'm on track. It's all good. Yeah, I actually stumbled into them because no, I won't go into that. It's a massively long story. But anyway, I heard about them and I was like, yeah, as if seriously, like essential oils. That's a bit cute. I don't think so. Like, I don't think they're gonna really have any power over the crazy emotions that I'm dealing with. But it got to the point where I was I was working and I was really burnt out, and I had to go to work every day in a really burnt out place. And I was desperate. I needed something. And so my friend Gina, if you're watching, hello. She's the best. I caught up with her. I went up to Gympie the other day and caught up with her, and she's just the coolest ever. She's my favorite. Anyway, she was like, you just have to try it. You just have to give it a go. So I can't even remember exactly how it happened. But anyway, she gave me specific instructions. She's like, take this oil, do this. And I did, and it blew my mind. I was like, what? Like, I could actually, I went from just struggling through work every day to having this little thing in my handbag that when I would feel myself, the panic rising and myself getting to that place, I'd take myself off to the bathroom and I'd just stand in the cubicle and I would just breathe it in and I would calm down. And I didn't know at that point how it worked scientifically. I didn't understand it, but I knew it worked. So that is the way that I got into this. And now I'm a big, massive nerd for oils. But you have to be careful with the brand that you use because there's not a lot of like regulation in the essential oil industry. So they can just slap whatever they want on the label. So just because it says like 100% pure, like what is it, like aromatherapy certified or whatever it is. The therapeutic grade, I think it is. I don't know where that came from. It could say that on the label. It could be like have heaps and heaps of like chemicals and additives and fragrances and things in it, and you just wouldn't know. So it sucks, but you have to do your research into the company itself and how they get the oil, whether they buy it from a supplier or they grow the plants themselves and distill them themselves. You have to do the research. So I have done that. So if you want to cut some corners, just reach out to me and I will give you all the info that I have found out so that you don't have to do all that research. But yeah, I just wanted to say that because it's so important. You don't want to be breathing in chemicals. That's not going to, first of all, it's not going to make a difference. It's not going to actually have an effect on your emotions. And second of all, it's kind of toxic and you don't want to do that. Okay. So now I'm actually going to deliver on what I promised in the title of this video. So here we go. So what essential oils are good for emotional health? I'm going to go through 3 that I use and that I love. The basic ones, I actually use blends, but these ones are just straight oils if you just want to get the straight oils. So the first one is lavender, and it's a calming oil. I'm just going to do like a really basic, like I'm just going to list them, but in the blog post that goes with this, which you should have a link in the description for that, I'll go into detail on what these things do. So lavender is a very calming oil. So that's if maybe you're having like a restless night, a sleepless night, or you're just feeling a bit panicky or whatever. That's a good one to use. Frankincense, I love frankincense. This is like a grounding oil. So this is an oil for if your thoughts feel scattered and like crazy and you just want to bring yourself back and just calm down the thoughts. That's a really good oil to use. And then bergamot or bergamot, however you want to say it, that is a really good uplifting oil. So when you're feeling, like you're in a bit of a fog, like you're feeling some sadness, that's a great one to use to just lift you back up and just make you feel a bit more joyful. So how you actually use them, First of all, well, actually, the only thing I have written here is inhalation. So you can use oils for a bunch of different things, not just your emotions. But when it comes to using them for emotions, my number one recommendation is to use them just by breathing them in. So that can be through a diffuser, that can be through just opening the bottle and just breathing it in. It can be dropping some in your hand, rubbing your hands together, and just breathing deep breaths in and out. That's going to actually go straight through the nose into your limbic lobe, which is like your emotional control center of your brain. So that's why they work so well, is that it goes straight there and it does its thing. And yeah, I've already been through safety. That's it. That's all I got to share. So as I said, if this topic resonates with you, jump into the free online community. I'm actually going to be doing like a breakdown in there of the different oils that I use and what I use them for and how I use them and things like that. So it's not all going to be about essential oils. There's a bunch of techniques that God has given me to help me with my emotional well-being. So I'm going to be sharing all of that in there. This is just kind of a top level view. But yeah, thank you for joining me, and I will see you on Thursday. All right. Bye.